so many ways that we can leverage technology to be more efficient and more effective with our time, and get, we want to get as much done as we can as possible. But the customer is actually evolving with us. A lot of people over the last few years, mostly because of COVID, I suppose, have learned how to use technology. Many of you are attending meetings online, setting up meetings online. Your clients are meeting you preferably online, as opposed to you having to drive 3 hours from Calgary or Edmonton or Vancouver to somewhere else, or it's just much more efficient. So today what we wanted to talk about was really how to use our CRM. And as you know, the CRM that we have endorsed is the Equisoft CRM. And we've got two gentlemen from Equisoft today to tell us a little bit about the CRM. This will be an introductory session for some of you, and a follow-up probably for some of other people that have used the CRM so far. But we also want to follow up this webinar with live meetings in the offices across Canada. We want to integrate technology, but also that in-person opportunity to learn more about the softwares that we offer, whether it be LDA or Razor or Conquest or the CRM, Equisoft. And how do we make our operations more efficient and effective, your time more effective in the utilization of that technology, and not losing that personal touch between you and your client. There's obviously opportunities where you want to see your client face to face, but there are many that you don't need to be in face to face. And particularly today's webinar, if we're doing a high overview of the CRM and how to use it, this will be open for questions. So if you have questions, to make sure you pose the questions in the Q&A or the chat. I didn't even ask before we started whether it's the Q&A or the chat today, but either will work. And we'll get as many of those questions answered as possible during the time that we have today, and we'll follow up with more answers as we move forward. This is really the first of a series of technology seminars that we're going to run during the year. Again, integrating some live with some web-based training. But we want to make sure that you get your hands on the software so that we can help you input data into your CRM, show you how it works. The fellows are going to talk about how you can integrate your current database into the CRM if it's an old database you no longer want to use. And we want to show you the reasons why you want to use Equisoft. So without any further ado, I'm going to invite Ryan out to join us, and he will take us through the software, and we'll go from there. Thanks very much for joining today. We are recording the webinar today, so it will be available afterwards. I'm just in the midst of editing the Empire Life session from yesterday, and this will be up in the next couple of days as well. So have a great session. I will be here for Q&A as well. So Ryan, take it away.
All right, thanks, Don. Everyone, it's really nice to meet you. Before I introduce my counterpart, Jean-Michel, I just want to thank you for attending today's webinar. So for those of you who are looking for your CE credits, you'll have to stay till the end. Feel free to ask any questions. We're going to do it a bit in a two-part piece. So I'm going to bring out Jean-Michel shortly to give you a bit of a run through of the CRM software. As Don mentioned, some of this is going to be a refresher for some of you out there. For other people that do not currently use Equisoft as a CRM, please feel free to reach out to us if what we discuss is interesting. Jean-Michel would be happy to answer any questions or to get you set up. We do have some preferential pricing that is set up for IDC as well as part of our partnership with them. And me specifically, before I bring out Jean-Michel, I'm going to be talking about strategies for success and being a leader in your niche. That will be kind of the topic that I'll be touching on. And I'll kind of focus it a little bit around how to use your CRM, namely the Equisoft CRM, but this would apply to any CRM, to find more of your kind of A clients, more of who you want to work with, and so you can kind of focus your effort. And yeah, I'm going to bring out Jean-Michel now. He can kind of talk about how you can maintain that personal touch, automate some of your day-to-day, and he'll show you just a quick demo of Equisoft Connect as well. Jean-Michel?
Yeah, Ryan, thank you so much for introducing. Just a quick intro. My name is Jean-Michel Duchaine. I'm the sales coordinator here at Equisoft. So my role is to kind of guide advisors through our offering of tools. As you might already know, Equisoft provides a complete toolbox for financial advisors. The main focus for today's session is going to be the CRM. I wanted, and myself, Don, and Ryan wanted to give you a quick high-level overview of Equisoft Connect so that you can, if you've never seen it before, know what it's all about. If you have, maybe get a quick refresher on it, as Ryan said. So let me just jump right ahead and share my screen with you so I can give you a run around of Equisoft Connect, what it's all about, and also some of the integrations that we have and how it can assist with your daily operations. So first and foremost, I wanted to give you guys a quick intro on the solution. So we're talking about a completely web-based, cloud-based customer relationship management software. So the goal of implementing such a solution is to be able to centralize all of your client information under one cloud and secured and compliant space as well. So you can work as a team within it as well. Every person can have their own user login so that we can keep a complete tracking of all the client interactions, all of your clients' information under one space, and that's going to be assigned to the person that actually works with the client as well. I'm within the home screen right now, which is the first thing that you access whenever you log into the system. It's a completely personalizable, customizable dashboard. Each user can have their own dashboard that will provide them with the information that's been taken from their CRM. As you can see right there, I got my insurance policy term dates, my tasks that are to do, unread emails, and more. And if we click on dashboard management here, we can see that there's a lot of customization that can be added on there. So we really can have our own dashboard that, once again, is 100% customized for our own needs and for our own experience. In terms of calendar management and email management, we got a complete synchronization to Office 365, meaning that it's going to be a complete mirror of both your calendar, but also your email inbox. So any folders within the email that you might have created are going to follow up within Equisoft here. We got an integration for email with the G Suite as well. So any Gmail address are going to be integrated. The Google Calendar is also upcoming. Of course, you can manage your calendar as a team so that you can give each other access and permissions to share calendar elements with each other. The advantage of working your calendar from Equisoft Connect instead of jumping into Outlook is that, first of all, you have the chance to, as I said, centralize all of your operations under one platform. So not having to jump from a platform to another will make you more efficient, of course. And there's also a much deeper level of information that you can add to all of your elements. For example, I'm in a calendar meeting here, which is a portfolio review with a client called Stephen Clark. I was able to categorize this activity saying, okay, we're going to talk about investment, add a public description for Stephen to see within his calendar. Scrolling down, all of my compliance notes will be taken within the internal notes section here. Of course, all of those boxes that open are going to be name stamped and date stamped as well, so that we know which user added them at what time. Scrolling down, a link to which contact this activity is linked to, and we can link it to multiple elements, an investment account, an insurance policy, a document, even a commission, really whatever is needed here, so that all of those elements within my CRM kind of integrate and talk to one another. What's great is that if, for example, you have a Calendly link in your email signature, since we have the Outlook synchronization, whenever a client, for example, books a meeting with you via Calendly, it's going to sync to your Outlook, which is then going to sync within Equisoft. So everything is going to speak to each other, but also that Calendly event is going to be able to be modified, and you're going to be able to add deeper info to it, as we've just seen within the calendar in the Equisoft Connect CRM. Of course, you can also work with tasks, which have a to-do list. They're not fixed in time. You can assign tasks to other users. So if this is stuff that you want to do, you absolutely have the option to do. I touched a little bit on email. So as I said earlier, it's a complete mirror of your inbox that you already have within Outlook or Gmail. You have the option to send within an encrypted way. So if you want to send more sensible information to a client, sending via secure mail is the way to go. How it works is that your client will receive a link that will lead them to an encrypted website with the content of the email. Now, going into the contact section is where you will see all the contacts. I say contacts, not clients, because yes, clients are contacts that you will want to have within your CRM, but you can add a lot of other stuff as well, like partners, like business partners that you would want to communicate content to. As you've seen, I filtered to only show my partners right now because I want to show you how you can share content with those partners. For example, if I want to share like thought leadership email, just so they can have like specific articles that I would want to share with them within an email template that I would have created earlier, I can, as I said, just pull up all of my partners, all of the advisors that I know, and then select them all and do an email merger, which is going to ask me to use a template that I created. In this case, I created an email template that is called Advisor Thought Leadership Q124, and then click on OK. And it's going to send an individual email to all of those people that I just selected, that I tagged as partners, saying like, hey, the Globe and Mail just put out a great article on stress management. Here's the link. Called These 5 Resets Can Help You Thwart Daily Stress in a World of Overwhelm. Because we know how operations can be stressful, so then we can send it, or even send it via secure mail if we want that to be encrypted for some reason. Just to show you the different options that you have to send information, but also to filter through your contacts in really specific ways. Now the client record itself, let me just show you what it looks like. I want to get your eyes on those sections at the top here, which are all related to my client. So if I click on insurance or on investments, I will have the insurance policies or the investment accounts of this specific client. May I remind you, if you do not already know, that we are integrated within IDC's back office system to bring in your client data. So all of their investment accounts will be brought in, their market value, and it's going to be kept updated on the daily. Let me, before I go back into the general section, just take a quick look at the chat and Q&A to see if there are any answers I could bring. Yeah, we have a question on the time frame for the Google Calendar sync. We do not have a specific ETA, but we know that it's coming in the upcoming month, certainly within 2024. I'm within the general section of my client record right now, so it gives me a general high-level overview of it, general information, of course, but scrolling down the last activities, tasks, opportunities that I've had with my clients, specific links to other clients' record, like a spousal link or for a referral, for example, I could link it there. And scrolling down, quick view of the investment portfolio and the insurance policies. So that everything, I can have a one-pager where I see all of my clients' information. Some quick tools that I think are really interesting to know about. You can call clients and record calls directly from your Equisoft Connect CRM. You can also pull a quick account summary with your clients' information that you chose to put on. Like if you want to have a quick document put together with your clients' investment accounts as well as their insurance policies. It takes about 5 to 7 seconds to generate, and it's a really professional looking document that your logo can be on, that will include everything you chose to put on there, including a table of content, of course, and the information that you decided to put on, as I said. I will say that gives us a high-level general overview of the CRM, but other sections that I didn't touch on that you might want to know about are opportunities, so you can track deals directly from your Equisoft Connect CRM, track your sales, see how it's going, set objectives for your teams. In terms of documents, there is no storage limit for documents. We have a complete onboarding process where when you get started with Equisoft Connect, we assist you with the initial configurations of the system, give you a basic training on it, as well as provide you with a complete help center, which includes help articles, the Equisoft University that has like video tutorials on every single modules that we have. So if you want to train yourself, become an expert with your CRM, you have the option to do so. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Let me stop sharing my screen and see before I leave the microphone to Ryan if we have any other questions that he couldn't answer. We have a question on mortgage. We actually have a way to track mortgages in the in the depths section, we can track mortgages and the different fields on it. So it's a bit basic. It's not a CRM that is tailored for mortgage agents, but maybe in the future, it's something that we're going to want to work towards having. So yeah, Ryan, the mic's all yours.
Perfect. Thanks, Jean-Michel. I did see that there was a question from Donald Turnbull on secure email if it's intercepted. Yes, you can password protect it, and you also have the ability to delete any emails that are sent through secure mail at any time. So thank you. Thanks everyone for their questions. Jean-Michel, thank you again for giving everyone a quick run through of the product. Now it's my turn. I'm going to jump right in and start the CE credited portion of the presentation. For those of you who are interested, please stay to the end, submit your emails and first name and last name as you wanted to show on the credit. It's 1 credit for attending this webinar. Any other questions, feel free to send them to me, ryan.webb@equisoft.com. So let me jump right in. Today's webinar is going to be on Specialize to Win, how to find the ideal niche for your practice. My name is Ryan Webb. I'm a lead generation expert, otherwise just a marketing head of marketing for the B2C side of the business over at Equisoft. I've seen 2 companies through IPOs. Before Equisoft, I was working with a company in Silicon Valley, helped them get their $40 million investment through Bessemer. And the reason I'm presenting to you today is that I've used CRM systems and really a lot of back-end software as sort of a growth marketing expertise that I've obtained over the past 15 or so years. There's a lot of power to a CRM when you're looking to generate leads. And one thing that people always ask me is what's one of your biggest tricks to generating leads? And it's really generating the highest quality leads possible. I've seen people generate 100 leads a day, but they're just wasting their time calling out people that have no interest. It's no better than having a yellow pages or a phone book and cold calling. You really want to generate leads that are best for your business, and that's sort of a bit of what we'll be talking about today is focusing your practice on a particular niche. From the advisors that I've spoken to, especially the successful ones, I think that finding a particular niche in which you're successful is key to your success. So the first kind of hypothetical question here, or a rhetorical question, sorry, is does your practice focus on a particular niche? That's one of the things I want you to think about as we begin. I understand that a lot of financial advisors, when they first start off, they're looking to bring on as much business as possible. But as you start to mature a bit more in your practice, obviously, you want to look at who's bringing in the most money for you, who's the most or the least amount of work for you in terms of ROI. And then, even when it comes to being an advisor, and Don touched on this, it's that maintaining the personal touch. You want to be able to let your technology do kind of the paperwork or the nitty-gritty for you, so that you can have that personal touch with your clients. And I think that when you're in the right niche, or when you find a niche that you're strong in, you're going to actually enjoy meeting with your clients each and every day. Now, one of the first steps to finding a niche is obviously understanding what a niche is, and that's just a group of people who have something in common. So, for me, from a marketing background, I'm going to use the marketing lingo and say that this is something we would kind of describe as your marketing personas or your ideal customer. But in the advisor space, it's very much the same thing. Is that if you find a niche, it allows you to narrow your focus and kind of have that pinpoint focus on what you want to go after as a financial advisor. So just moving to the next slide. Now, why is this important? When you narrow your focus, you're able to really create a great client experience. If you spend every day working with millennials who are in the tech sector, with a lot of disposable income, as an example, you're going to know the type of questions they're going to ask. You're going to know what you have to prepare in advance for any first meetings, third meetings, fifth meetings, RRSP season. If they have questions on life insurance, you know what questions they're going to ask almost before they ask it, because you've worked with a lot of other people in that niche before. Now, I would argue that it's a lot easier to be the best financial advisor for your niche than it is to become like the best financial advisor in Canada or in the world. And obviously, there's no reason not to strive to be that best financial advisor in Canada. But maybe if I narrow my focus a little bit, and I'm the best financial advisor for, again, millennials in the tech sector in Toronto, I've now narrowed my scope. And I can kind of become a master of that niche. Now, how do you find the ideal niche for your practice would be the next kind of question that a lot of people ask me. And really, it's a matter of identifying who you want to work with. So sometimes you don't have a choice of who you want to work with, but one thing that's great as a financial advisor is that you do have that ability to kind of choose the people that you enjoy working with. It's not always the wealthy people who are hands off, who you get a 2% commission for managing your portfolio. It can actually be it could just be something that you have a passion about. It could be something you enjoy. Maybe before you became a financial advisor, you were an engineer and you want to work with other engineers. Maybe you had a family member who's a doctor. You want to work with doctors. Maybe you want to work with farmers in Alberta because you've had experience there. You have friends in that industry, and it's kind of been your starting point. I've met people that started their business that way. Is they had an uncle who was a farmer, and they moved into that industry, and through word of mouth and being able to actually become a master of like knowing what type of questions they're going to ask, knowing what keeps them up at night. That was really what was very, very powerful. So obviously, if you identify who you work with, this will allow you to find more clients like the ones that you enjoy working with. You can understand their unique needs, and obviously that allows you to be more effective as an advisor. So what am I talking about? What keeps them up at night? If you're dealing with people that are engineers in Toronto between the age of 40 and 50, married, 2 kids, okay, maybe 2 kids is a bit too precise, married with kids, do they worry about saving for their child's education? Do they not worry about saving for their child's education? Is that what's keeping them up at night? Are they worried about life insurance policies? Do they have enough coverage? Can they maintain this quality of life for their family after they're gone? Is that what keeps them up at night? And when you focus on a particular niche, you'll be able to actually answer those questions in advance of any meetings. So this is kind of the example that I was giving before. You have someone who's an engineer, 40 to 50, married, 2 kids, $100,000 plus of income, wants to really protect their family's future, and they're risk averse. These are kind of the commonalities from which your niche can grow. Now, I was touching on the CRM aspect of this. With most CRMs, and one thing I really love about Equisoft Connect, which is the Equisoft CRM, is that the possibilities are almost endless when it comes to taking client data and segmenting it into a variety of different ways. You could actually create a list of any clients in your database that are between 40 and 50 years of age using the filters within our system. If you wanted to look at people that have RRSP investments greater than $50,000, greater than $500,000, you can do that within our system. Also, because of the integration with IDC Worldsource, that data is pulled from IDC directly in real time. So any of the investment amounts or any of the information that you have within the system that hasn't been manually entered through Equisoft will be pulled. Any of that investment account data will be updated in real time. So you can actually then group your customers any way that you want to slice it, and you can market to them specifically. You can have an email for people who are just starting with you. You can have emails for everyone else. Heck, you can even have an automated email that you send out on their birthday, just wishing them a happy birthday each and every year. But once you've identified who you want to work with, that's when I think it's very important to focus on what you want to work on. So, there's a lot of options as a financial advisor. More people than you think, they want to steer clear of life insurance. I know that some of the exams are really a pain in the butt, but also some people just don't like talking about end of life planning with their clients. Maybe that's a bit morbid of a conversation to have with your clients, but it's also a very important one as a financial planner or financial advisor to have that conversation with them. But then at the same time, so it's not just, do you want to work in life insurance, financial investments, seg funds, ETFs, you also have to think of what do you like to work on? And in terms of industry as well, it's something that's very, very important. So for any starting advisors out there, obviously don't go after what's hot right now. I asked you hey, what kind of industry would you like to find your initial clients from? Maybe people might say, oh, people that work in the AI industry. It's a booming industry, but that's really what's hot right now. If you looked at it 2 years ago, it was cryptocurrency before the crypto winter happened. And then, just before that, you had a variety of different things that people went after. But if you go after what's hot right now, you're not going to actually end up working on what you're really, really interested in, unless, of course, you are interested in crypto or interested in AI. The next piece when you're deciding what you want to work on is really trying to decide on the products you will sell. So kind of as I discussed before, do you want to focus on selling life insurance? Do you want to focus on selling seg funds? Do you want to do retirement planning? Or what services do you offer? It is a digital world. Are you going to offer, more than just face-to-face meetings? Are you going to have to see your clients face-to-face? Or are you going to set up Zoom meetings with them on a regular basis so that you can at least do an F&A, make sure that their needs haven't changed, make sure that their life situation hasn't changed, that they don't need you to adjust their portfolio or adjust how you're working for them. But also what is that white glove service that you're going to offer? What can you do for people within your niche that no one else is doing? Can you provide them with something that's specific to them? And then lastly, of course, knowing the areas that you'll serve. Sometimes if your niche is very, very specific, you might be able to go more broad, more on a national level. I've got a brother who works in pharmaceuticals. You can't, he does double blind studies for medications. And one of the things is that you can't always find enough patients. Like if you're testing a drug for Parkinson's, you can't actually find enough patients in one city. So you do have to broaden and go to hospitals across multiple cities and sometimes even multiple countries. I wouldn't say multiple countries right now for financial advisors, but if you are going after a very specific niche, you can go after a broader area. If you're going after a specific niche, there might be an area where you want to be. Obviously, maybe the prairies is a better place if you're focusing on farming. Maybe one of the coastal cities if you wanted to go work with people in the fishing industry. If you want to work in tech, I would definitely say Toronto. If you want to work with AI, Montreal is one of the biggest hubs in Canada for people in that particular niche. So that's where it's kind of this combination of what are you selling? And who are you selling it to? How are you selling it, which is your service? And then where are you selling it is kind of that area where you will serve. Again, this is sort of what, for the sake of this example, maybe you're selling life insurance, maybe you're selling seg funds. what are the services you're doing? You're doing retirement planning, estate planning, survivor protection assessments. And maybe your local market is where you want to focus first. You want to start off in, I'm here in Montreal. I'm originally from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Maybe you want to go after people in Halifax with your offering. So that's how you kind of identify your perfect niche. It's that bridge between the people you want to work with and then your ideal work. And that's where the CRM can help. Rather than you just trying to find engineers, you can start with people you already have in your database, in your CRM, hopefully, and then you can use them to figure out, okay, what is it that's important to them? What are the questions they're asking me? Can they refer me to other people? I'll stick with the example of the engineering industry. A lot of engineers know other engineers. And if you do a good job, if you service them and provide them with the proper level of service, they're going to easily recommend you for other roles. So that kind of brings us to the next section of the webinar. Excuse me while I have a quick sip of water. And I'll take a look at the questions and answers as well. Do you ever consider having a mortgage tab similar to investments and insurance? You can actually track mortgages through Equisoft CRM. This was a question from Christopher. It's more done as an investment, but if you want to reach out to Jean-Michel after the webinar, I think he might be able to talk about a potential workaround for that, just for the software specifically. Okay, so now that you've chosen niche, how do you become a top advisor in your niche? And this is where I think my marketing background is going to help a lot. When it comes to becoming a leader in your niche, you really want to narrow down your marketing focus. So I worked with a company called Lightspeed for about 5 years. Lightspeed does point of sale systems. They were actually one of the largest Canadian tech IPO, beating Shopify when we went public in 2019 in terms of initial IPO size. But leading up to their IPO, there were a lot of concerns pertaining to what niche do we focus on? We were very, very, very strong in retail. We were also very, very weak when it came to restaurant. So for those of you who don't know, point of sale systems, just think of it as the thing that connects to the kitchen, it connects to your inventory system, and it allows you to accept payments through credit card or anything else. Every store has it, every restaurant has it. You wouldn't be able to make purchases without it. It's basically replaced the old-fashioned cash registers. But Lightspeed was very, very strong in their own native platform that they built for retailers. And this is many years back. It's different now. But on the restaurant side, we actually acquired a European restaurant system. And for those who are familiar with restaurants in Europe, there's a few differences. One, there's no taxes. It's all value added tax right in the calculation of the item. So there was no calculation for taxes in this system. And also tipping is not very common. Now, when you try and sell to the Canadian market a point of sale system that doesn't allow you to tip and doesn't allow you to add tax, it doesn't do very, very well. So as a marketer, we had to make sure that we were not focusing any of our marketing dollars or our marketing effort on getting more restaurants in the door, especially when the product wasn't right for them. Again, this was many, many years ago. But and they've since improved, but at the time that was very much the case. So we wanted to focus on retail where we were particularly strong. We also worked very, very well in certain industries in retail. Obviously, for jewelry, we were very strong because we had work orders within the software, so that you could do repairs on jewelry. For any clothing stores, we had very, very powerful inventory management, which was loved. So the point that I'm trying to make is that, if you know where you want to focus your energy. Is it, okay, I want to focus my marketing on jewelry stores. I want to focus my marketing on clothing stores. That allows you to kind of pinpoint your focus. And the same is true for an advisor, is that if you can narrow down on a particular industry, a particular client type, and then you have kind of your product or service offering that's also very specific, you're going to stand out, and you're going to be able to deliver a very customer oriented experience for that customer. But you're also going to be able to communicate that through all of your communications. When you communicate externally, whether that's through your website, you're not just a financial advisor in Toronto, you're the #1 financial advisor for engineers looking for life insurance in Toronto. And that's a lot different. And then when you're posting to social media, when you're putting content out there, I think Don in some of the previous, if not the future tech ones, we'll talk about like advisor stream and sharing content with other people. If you're going after a certain group of people, you should be sharing content that would be interesting to them on social media. Not just all the doom and gloom about, are we going into a recession? Why is inflation so bad? But what is it really that's important to the people that you want to go after, and what are they going to read on social media? What are they going to like? What's going to get them to actually stop when they see that you've posted something, because they know that you're posting something that is relevant to them. Also, once you start to do this and you're focused on that pinpoint audience, it makes networking a lot easier. Like I said, you're going to have people that are engineers know engineers, for the lack of a better term. They're going to refer other people to you. And then even for speaking engagements, like if you want to speak to engineers, or maybe you even want to speak at a university event for engineering graduates, not because you're targeting engineering graduates right now, but maybe because in the future, when they're ready to have kids and whatever, they might choose you. But also these university students, maybe their parents were also engineers, and this is a way that you can broaden your network as well as you focus on that particular niche. And this kind of allows you to develop your market expertise. You want to know what is going through the heads, what's going on in the head of the engineer. What are they thinking of when they want to, in terms of goals and aspirations? Is it that they want to have enough money set aside for their kids? Is it that they want to retire at 55? What is their goal and aspiration? What do you see frequently? And you're gonna understand not just their dreams, but also, like I said before, what keeps them awake at night, but also what are those risks and that they might be open to or not open to, and how do you deliver the proper service to them as a financial advisor. And if you're able to kind of master that industry and become a market expert, that's when you can really give the highest quality advice possible to your clients. Of course, obviously, be in the pulse of the industry, focus on gaining experience, and learn how to eliminate client pain points. I actually launched a company once, and me and my 2 business partners, we were more profitable than we wanted to be, in the sense that we hadn't incorporated. We didn't think that things would move as fast as it did, and we actually went to a lawyer who had been in that situation 100 times before, and he got us to set up shell corporations so that we could pay ourselves through dividends, so that we had less tax implications. He also got us to acquire shelf corporations, so corporations that had been previously incorporated years back. We went from having to initially thinking that we were going to have to pay 40% tax or 45% tax as a partnership, to being able to acquire a company that was previously incorporated, use that as a shelf company so we could pay less taxes. My point being, he knew his industry like the back of his hand, and we felt like we were in good hands because he assured us, hey, I've seen this before. It's not my first rodeo. This has happened to other people in your similar situation. And he made us feel, well taken care of. And I have referred other people to him as they started their business, as they were looking for business lawyers. I still refer people to him to this day, just because he made me feel as though, I didn't screw up. I didn't, I shouldn't have started for the advisor side. I shouldn't have started investing in my RSP 20 years ago. He made me feel as though, listen, a lot of people have been through what you've been through. I've seen this a million times, and here's how we're going to actually move forward. And that's where you kind of develop that expert level knowledge of your products that not everyone is going to know if they don't actually focus on your niche. One last thing is, there are a lot of ways to market. There are seminars, conferences, things like that in your niche. Not always the best for a financial advisor, but depending on the niche, you can sometimes find the right clients for that. We're just getting close to the end. Don't worry. I know some of you might have heard things like this before, but there's just a lot of ways. Excuse me. A lot of ways to get involved within your niche. You want to be where your clients are. It's important to be seen as a financial advisor, to be out there, especially when you're targeting certain people. This will really allow you to create a name for yourself and to show off that expertise that you've gained. Just 1 second. Sorry, guys. We'll skip through these little pieces. Now, before we wrap up, I'm just going to check the questions one last time. All right, nothing new. To summarize, narrow your marketing focus so that you can really offer the right offerings for your niche. Also develop your expertise in the market. You can do that by gaining a deep understanding. And then this will allow you to really provide effective solutions for your clients. I think that's key. And when you deliver really strong solutions for your clients, that's going to help you build your brand, of course. And if you're popular, if people know you, if you're trusted, that's obviously going to help you grow your network. So yeah, that's about everything. Like I said, I think I can hand it back over to you, Don. There won't be a quiz because you guys attended for the entire length of the presentation.
Yeah, leave it.
Over to you.
Leave it there for a second. That key takeaways. I mean, we've run seminars and webinars like this in the past, and I think the biggest difference you're going to see as we launch forward, and we want to propel you to the year about how you're going to take this information now and apply it to your practice. And I made a list of about 6 things that were mentioned in the course of this webinar that we want to focus on so that you can be more efficient and more effective with your time and energy, and how to better use your CRM. So some of you are using the Equisoft CRM and have your data and your clients in that CRM, and some are using some other CRM. The question I have for you, Ryan, is how easy is it to port or import my database from, let's say I'm using Act or I'm using some other CRM. How easy is it to import that data into your CRM?
Yeah, so I mean, there's 2 methods to do it, and I'll be transparent. We do offer a full service solution, which can be a little pricey. It's about $100 an hour, but we also offer Excel templates. So if you download the information from your existing CRM, you can just plug it into that Excel template and then re-upload it into the Equisoft CRM system. So as long as so you would just have a column from your existing CRM, first name, last name. You just match those up, and then you can upload it within your CRM. That's no cost, and that's usually about a day's worth of work. It's only when you have a lot of different information that maybe you'll want us to do it for you. Like I said, that's about $100 an hour, usually around 5 hours worth of work for people that are looking to do it that way. But most people can do it manually by themselves, just with that Excel.
So you mentioned a few things, and I always get a kick out of technology people who make technology seem so easy. It always makes me laugh because I think of companies' software where they say, you know, a company presentation will be there, and I'll say, just take it, the illustration in Excel and import it into your this, and then tag it into that, and they go, okay, well, you lost me at the word import, you know. So when you're pasting and importing things into an Excel spreadsheet, that's one of the areas that we want to help you with this year as well. We're going to have a session on, okay, how do I actually, you know, paste this information into my CRM or into an Excel spreadsheet to be usable when I import that data into the, you know, Equisoft software. That's number one.
Yeah.
Two is, you know, we hear a lot of people using Calendly as their appointment booking system. How easy is it to add Calendly to either my website or into my tagline of my email?
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of adding it to your email, I think that's the easiest option. In your email provider, if you use Outlook, if you just do a search under help, there should be signature. Calendly will give you a copy and paste code. So it'll be a little box with some text in it. Highlight it with your mouse, copy by right-clicking, and paste it into your signature. And then for your website, it'd be something similar. Most people, I think, would probably just give it to their web developer to do, or whoever they might have that helped build their site. Again, it's usually just a copy and paste code. And the great thing with Calendly is because since it's integrated with your calendar and your calendar is integrated in the CRM,
Right.
that'll all be transferred automatically. Now, why is that important? One thing that's great with Equisoft, which really allows us to stand out amongst our competitors, we have unlimited data and unlimited storage. What that means for you as an advisor is that any meetings you take, any calendars, bookings that you do with the client, that's all stored for compliance purposes, and you can store unlimited conversations, unlimited emails, unlimited text. It's stored in the cloud, but it's more than banking encryption. So it's super, super secure and super, super confidential. But then on top of that, even phone calls, you can record and store your phone calls that you have with clients in MP3 format. Basically you make a phone call and it will record that and store it on your database, and you never have to pay anything extra for like a Dropbox or another like online storage thing like Google Storage or Google.
Yeah, could all the contact information and notes on Office 365 Business be easily input into Equisoft, Ryan?
Yes, yeah. So actually, anything in Office 365, we have full integration. So any notes that you already have will be fully integrated with as part of the sync. Yes, 100%. That's very automatic on our side.
And Ryan and I have been talking the last few days and earlier as well about setting up these sessions, live events in your offices across Canada. So we will be coming to Montreal, Toronto, Halifax, Calgary, Edmonton, and show you how to actually do this in real time with your CRM, putting in data, and a workshop. So it might be a 2-hour workshop on how to do some of these things, identifying your target market, identifying your niche, the articles you might want to send to your niche, how to use Calendly to book those appointments with those people once they get the article. And it's just going to be a very seamless process for you. So we want to make sure you know that, and we'll be delivering on that as well. The other thing is importing that data. You know, that's key. And we will have follow-up sessions on how to do that as well. So keep an eye out on our bulletins. Laura's doing a great job of sending the information out in the bulletins so you can keep up with what we're doing. And tell everybody else that you're talking to in your office that, you know, this stuff is on the way, and we are in the process of doing this, and we will be coming to your offices live. Ryan and I are just looking at the schedule now as to when we can coordinate having a live person from Equisoft come in the office with the BDE in that office to go through some of this material with you. So thanks for joining us today. I don't see any more questions. Or there's one more question, it looks like, Ryan.
Yeah, I was just going to type in the answer there, but I can answer it live on air. Yes, you can add your prospects. So actually, pipeline management is one of the big strengths of our CRM. So, you know, first conversation, first email, you can track it as that happens, as they respond. So every step that you have before they're a client, you can manage that in the CRM as well.
Well, fantastic. So thanks very much, everybody. And we're looking forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great day. Stay safe. And thanks again.
Thanks, Don.